Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. It's issue number 6 of the Korvac Saga of the Avengers. Of course, we've been following along this whole long extended storyline throughout the Avengers, the late 160s into the 170s. We're at issue number 173 now from 1978. And then there were none, right? That is the great Perez and Austin cover for you right there. Sadly, George Perez did not do the artwork on the inside of this one. It's really weird how he was doing like all these Avengers issues in a row. Some fine work, I might add, and started the whole Korvac saga, and then he didn't finish it, which is kind of strange. But still, a great cover nonetheless. And inside we've got, let's see here, Jim Shooter, story editor-in-chief, A. Kowecki, letterer, N. Yomtov, colorist. D. Michelin also did some writing on here. Sal Buscema, the art along with D. Hands. Okay. R. Stern, editor. J. Scalacrup, assistant editor. Boy, a lot of people working on this one. It's a lot of names, right? Remember back in the old days in the 60s in Marvel, it's like you maybe had 4 people, right? You had the writer, artist, inker, and colorist, maybe a letterer. But so a lot of people work on here. So again, from where we left off, right, we've got heroes disappearing left and right, so Iron Man is basically called in as much help as he possibly can get. Anybody who's been, done any work with the Avengers in the past, he's trying to get them involved so we can figure out what's going on. So here at the round table, right, so it is springtime in Manhattan, and the afternoon breezes are warm with the promise of summer. But inside Avengers Mansion, the atmosphere is of a markedly different nature as a grim leader speaks words as cold and hard as the glittering armor he wears. So that's why I called you old Avengers together. People associated with the current members are vanishing, popping out like soap bubbles. And unless we find what's behind this all, it's quite possible that soon the Avengers will be no more. So we've got, we got the Wizard, you've got Captain Marvel, Black Panther, and Iron Man sitting at the Avengers Roundtable. That's right, we've had some people who have disappeared. But on the way, in an airplane, 2 members of the Champions and former Avengers. We've got Hercules and the Black Widow. Okay, there's Natasha. Herc is getting kind of upset that they haven't deboarded the plane yet. So what does he decide to do? He just decides to make his own exit, right? Tears a hole in the plane, walks off, right? Of course, the military is not too happy about that. So what does he do? He goes and throws a helicopter, and he's basically like, just send the bill to Tony Stark and the Avengers. They'll take care of it, no big deal. And then he's like, let's go get a taxi cab, right? So here we are a little bit later. Of course, this is New York, so I think that was LaGuardia or Kennedy Airport. They come busting in to Avengers Mansion, and of course Iron Man is pretty happy to see them. He's like, we got some stuff to do, we got to gain some intel, but of course, as you all know, the Avengers have been under a lot of scrutiny from the government about their lacks in security. So S.H.I.E.L.D. and other parts of the government are kind of cutting them off from all the intel. So here Iron Man's trying to get some information, and Nick Fury comes on the camera there, and he's like, sorry, can't help you, Shellhead, where you're cut off, all this kind of stuff. So Iron Man, or Tony Stark, is kind of like, geez, what are we going to do here? So meanwhile, while all this is going on, you have the guy who is actually Korvac, who's sitting in his house in Westchester, is kind of watching all this, seeing all this unfold, right? He knows that all this is going on. He knows why the Avengers are one by one disappearing. He's got this mysterious woman that's living with him as his kind of like sort of live-in girlfriend, whatever. He knows that the Guardians of the Galaxy are watching over a young version of Vance Astro, right? Because Guardians are from the future. Vance is still around in the time period here in 1978. So, so here he's kind of plotting his next move. Right, and of course, his girlfriend, she's very upset by some of the things that are going on. They don't really touch on it too much here, but she knows a little bit more than she appears. All right, you got a little back history with Korvac, right? His dealings with the Watcher, his dealings with Mephisto. He is he wants to be one of the the main villains on the scene. He's even wants to go up against Eternity himself, right? So there, see the Shadow of Eternity. So Korvac is making a play to be the guy, right? To be the guy. And then he finds out that Karina, The lady knows more than she's saying. He's upset with her. She just wants to please him, right? Then we cut back to Avengers Mansion. So you got Captain Marvel's offering to go check some things out. Herc and Iron Man are talking. Well, while all this is going on, you could win a trip to Gotham and appear in a superhero comic book. Right? Wait a second. Isn't Gotham DC? Last I thought, right? So Cap takes off. Captain Marvel takes off. All right. Out to hit the streets. Black Widow and Hercules. I love Hercules. He's awesome. Right? Basically, the Wizard says, I'm kind of flattered you called me in here, but I'm way too old. I can't be doing this. Iron Man totally understands. And then we've got, in another location, elsewhere, we've got Scarlet Witch is all upset because the Vision disappeared. Hawkeye's trying to make her feel a little better. Then you got this mysterious old guy who's been traveling on a ship. He's got a picture of Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. Keeps saying, my children, my children. Ooh, what's that all about? Who is this mysterious figure? We're going to find out, right, in the not-too-distant future. Then we got in another location, we've got Jarvis and Wonder Man hanging out in the kitchen, and Thor comes busting in. Thor always just seems to show up, and he walks in, and he's so this is a great little bit of dialogue here. So, your potato salad should be ready momentarily, Mr. Williams. And why, Master Thor? It's good to see you again, sir. Verily, thou art a pleasure to mine as well, Jarvis. Wonder Man says to Thor, "Hey, Thor, old buddy, pull up a chair. Want half of my sandwich?" And he goes, "I appreciate thine offer, friend, but the son of Odin is not accustomed to being addressed in so familiar a manner by strangers." Wonder Man's like, "Strangers?" It's like, what are you getting at? I'm Wonder Man. Remember, we fought side by side against Graviton and Count Nefaria. Methinks thou art confused, mortal. I know nothing of such battles or of thee. So it's like, well, this has kind of been going on for a number of issues. Every time Thor kind of shows up, he doesn't seem to remember anything that happened recently. So now he doesn't even know who Wonder Man is. Very odd, right? So then back to Avengers Mansion, you got Black Panther and Iron Man talking to Yellow Jacket and the Wasp. All right, Yellow Jacket is Hank is looking at some stuff on the computer, and then all of a sudden he disappears as well. And of course, oh my God, Hank, where is he? Oh no! Wasp goes into her, crying and worrying and all that sort of thing. Okay. And the rest of the gang comes in. They're chit-chatting with Vance Astro up in space there, right? Trying to figure out the next plan of attack. Cool artwork in this issue, right? I think, Sal always does a great job. It's not quite George Perez, but it's still pretty damn good, I think. So then basically all the heroes who are still left. So it's basically Wasp, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Thor. They go up to the space station that I just showed, and then it actually shows who is behind the disappearing heroes. So then you see in all the pods, you've got all the heroes there taken up by the Collector. I'll read you some of this dialogue here. It is fortunate that his attention was focused elsewhere. Otherwise, I would have been forced to continue acquiring Avengers in the same sporadic manner as before, in order to avoid detection. But hey, fella, your bacon is about to be fried. You've got it, Hawkeye. This character may have most of the Avengers down and out, but there are still 4 of us alive and kicking. Aye, and thou doth be know to bring in the easiest villain cowering to his knees. Cowering, but my dear fellows, I'm absolutely delighted you're here. After all, you've just saved me from considerable bother of fetching you, for I am the Collector, and you, my hapless friends, have just completed my collection. Ha 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 ha. And the next issue captured by the Collector. So of course the Collector, they fought the Collector before, back in I don't know, issue like 120 something like that. So it had been a while. So, but what is driving the Collector to try and capture all of these Avengers once again? Well, that is to be seen very shortly. And stay tuned for issue number 174 coming up in just a day or so here on the channel. So as we continue through the Korvac saga, we only have a few issues left, but I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to see where this all goes once again, because I've read all these before, but it's always interesting going and rereading these and bringing them all to you and sharing it with you. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts, and please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, we've got the links below to our merch page. So if you want to head over to the Sea of Tranquility merch page, you can get yourself a Comic Book Geezers t-shirt, as well as a Comic Book Geezers mug, right? So we have those as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. I am P. Pardo. We'll see you real soon here with more stuff on the channel. For Wild Bill, see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.